Today we will look at more probability problems. The first thing we'll discuss is the fundamental counting principle. This is the number and ways in which a series of successive things can occur, and we find these by multiplying the number of ways in which each thing can occur. So let's look at an example. We have an ice cream shop in Donnie's Town called 21 Choices because they offer 21 different flavors. Donnie likes all three, but of the flavors at 21 Choices, except for bubblegum, butter pecan, and pistachio. A 21 Choices basic sundae comes in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large, and includes 1 flavor of ice cream and 1 of 12 toppings. How many different sundaes could Donnie order that include only flavors that he likes? So we know we have 21 different flavors and he likes all but 3. So he really has 18 that he likes. So this represents the flavors. And we know we have 3 sizes. This number represents sizes. And 1 of 12 toppings. So that would be times 12. And we just multiply these all together and we should get 648. So dependent events. When the occurrence of one event affects how a second event may occur, we call these events dependent. For example, you have a bag of red and blue marbles. You draw one marble at random and then another without replacing the first. The colors drawn are dependent events. For independent events, the outcome does not affect the probability of the second event. We say they're independent. So getting a 5 on the first roll does not change the probability of obtaining a 5 on a second roll of a fair die. So in this next example, we're going to determine whether the events are independent or dependent. So event A, you have 6 socks in your drawer, a blue pair, a black pair, and a white pair. You randomly select a white sock in your dresser and put it on your foot. Then you randomly select the matching sock for the foot. So these would be dependent because the probability of obtaining that matching sock changes as socks are taken out of the drawer. And for the next one, event A, we're going to randomly select a queen from a standard deck of cards and put it back in the deck. Then randomly select a second queen from the standard deck. These would be independent because we put the card back in the deck, therefore it does not change the probability of obtaining a second queen. When we start talking about multiplication of events, these are probability of events in sequence, or multiple events, and we just multiply them together. So if we find the probability of rolling 2 dice and getting a 3 and a 5, the first one, 6, represents the first die, and the second one, 6, represents the second die, which would give us a 1 over 36. If we toss 2 coins, what is the probability of obtaining 2 heads? Well, the probability of the first coin being heads is 1 over 2, because you have 1 head, 2 outcomes, and the same with the second coin. So this would be 1 over 4. And then we find the probability of selecting 2 consecutive aces when 2 cards are drawn without replacement from the standard deck of 52 cards. So aces, we have 4 aces in a standard deck of cards, 52 total cards. Without replacement means I keep the card in my hand as I draw a second card. That means there are 3 aces remaining with a total of 51 cards. We multiply this together and reduce the fraction. It is 1 over 221. Or approximately 0.005. Take a minute and try these example U-tries. Hopefully for the first U-try you did get 1 over 36, and for the second you got 4 over 663, or approximately 0.006. The last thing we need to discuss is a line graph. A line graph compares how a value or several values change over time. We like line charts for comparing lots of data at once. It shows changes and trends over time and displaying forecast data and uncertainty. So if we look at our picture here, notice we have produce sales is shown for 8 months. And we want to know which month or months had the greatest fluctuation in sales. Well, it appears that the greatest fluctuation is from here to here. Okay, so we can say from February to March. Which months had the smallest growth in sales? So smallest growth in sales, it appears to be here. So we're going to say December to January. Let's look at another one. A government agency tracks wildlife population in the Pacific Northwest. Which species shows the greatest decline? And notice it's this orange graph, so we're going to say the dolphins. And which species have the same wildlife in 2018? So 2018 would be here, so we're going to say bears and whales. And that's it. Hooray, we finished all of our notes.